bear. Hello, I was just talking to Sue McDougall. You will too. Let me tell you who's on the show today. It's episode 667 coming up very soon. Now, Vince Gareffa's been in lockdown for a few months, but he's back. He's out of that cupboard. He can get out and do things again, charity events and more. So we're talking to him very soon from Mondo's. Now, as I said, Sue McDougall from the gardening program on 6PR, we finally have her on the couch. We're going to talk to her about what she's been up to. 40 years she's been gardening, and she's very tired as well. So we'll talk to her. Now, Maui Jim Sunglasses have contacted us. They're coming in. Wonder Woman, I believe, is coming in for a special visit. We're giving away 6 pairs of sunglasses in 6 weeks, and that is all to do with local legends. I'll tell you more about that later on. Amy Jacobson is an emotional intelligence and human behavioural expert. She'll be coming in. Coronavirus, a lot of people have been getting help, and Nisha finds out all the details with that one. Questionable is back with Simone Springer. We'll talk a bit of comedy with her 2 comedians as well. And Fresh and Local with Danielle Fotticazzola. He brings in a recipe for a cake, talks about opera with Nisha. I think that's enough for the show today. Music-wise, we've got the Barbercats as well, so stay tuned. This is episode 667, and guess what? It starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred. In town, you can see it from your house. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch. Oh, oh, oh.
Hello Australia, welcome to another episode of The Couch. Stick around, we've got a fantastic program for you. Fresh and local here in WA. We're hoping everybody in Australia enjoys the local content from WA, which is a bit different. We usually watch a lot of eastern state stuff. This time you watch us from WA. So all over Foxtel, thank you for joining us. Special guest today, Vince Gareffa, the Prince of Flesh. How did you get that name? And welcome back, by the way.
Well, lovely to be here, Mr. Happy. Lovely to see you.
You make me happy. Every time we work together, it doesn't matter if we have an hour, 2 hours or 3 hours at 6PR, we use it.
But Prince of Flesh, interesting because people that don't know that all I've ever been is a butcher, then they say, oh, that makes sense. So because over the years with supplying not only the public but a lot of restaurants, doing a lot of overseas training with Australian chefs, talking to customers overseas about Australian meats. And one of my customers once asked me for something very difficult to get that I don't want to name. And I got it for him to make him happy. And he goes, oh, you're amazing. He says, you're the Prince of Flesh. And I waited until he came back the next time and he said it again. And I said, you know what? I like that. I think I might make that my email address.
I think it works.
And so it does. It works very well. I've been butchering now for 55 years.
Wow.
And doing a bit of charity work, as you well know, for about 30 years.
Yeah.
And
you love
this
it.
is the most amazing year in the history of the planet.
Well, let's talk about what happened, because when coronavirus happened, we talked about it on 6PR. We had a couple of huge fundraisers going on, but there was a big one that you were involved with that just about got cancelled.
You're absolutely correct about them being 2. The weekend that was virtually West Australia's final weekend that anything large happened, we kept on being talked to, and there was a spin that we should make the decision to not have it. And I had looked at the situation and realised that I had a Friday night fundraiser for a big group of farmers, and all the money was going to Lifeline, and the Sunday was going to be the usual brunch in the backyard of my house. And we always raised 300,000 or 400,000.
Is that all? Just some loose change.
And I knew that Lifeline was going to be in deep trouble because everything after that weekend was cancelled.
Exactly.
And a lot of people said, no, you can't go ahead. We lost half our staff, the volunteers. Too many of them had elderly parents and were scared. We lost about 25% of our guests who had money in their pockets. And I introduced for the first time in Western Australia that every person that came to the event was going to find a large plastic bag on their spot at the table, and all of their goods were in there: glasses, plates,
Everything
cutlery,
they needed.
serviette, everything, and none of them were exposed to any of the staff or any...
They were hygienic.
Hygienic. We employed 60 bottles of hand sanitizer, and we had them taped to every post and pole around, so most people were only 3 metres from a hand sanitizer. And we introduced saying hello with feet and elbows, and at the time we didn't realise that within a few weeks there would be people around the world saying that you've got to sneeze in your elbow.
Yes.
Because when we grew up, our grandmothers taught us to sneeze into our hankies.
Yep.
So I hadn't thought of that, but once they brought the sneezing in the elbow, I said, you've got to remember which elbow you're saying hello with and which elbow you're sneezing into. So it was a fabulous time. We were scared.
Yep.
We were scared that it was going to be a big disaster. So on the Friday night, the amazing people from Esperance gathered all the farmers at the Fremantle Italian Club, and where they were expecting about $20,000 to be raised, we raised $77,000.
Fantastic.
So that was a bit of a lift me up. And then the Sunday, I kept getting phone calls Friday, Saturday, you should cancel, you should cancel, you should cancel. No. I couldn't take it because I knew how much we had invested, and if we cancelled it, there would be $0 for Lifeline.
Exactly.
So we went ahead. It was a bit of a shock that everything went so well. The people were amazing.
Food was
and
great.
The fun of elbows and that and feet, hellos, no hugging and kissing. We had signs everywhere, and that's hard for Italians. And of course, and we weren't all Italians. We're Australians. Australian from every walk of life. A miserable $460,000 later.
You know what? Congratulations. That's an amazing amount.
And Lifeline breathed a sign of relief because they had some money.
So I know that the shop's opened again. Everything's back to normal. We've come out of isolation. Here in WA, we've got probably the best restrictions easing. We're able to talk. We're able to do the show again. Yep. We're able to have people in the shops again. How's the shop going?
The shop's
Did you
going
suffer
very,
a bit
very
during
well.
isolation?
During the worst of it, we were controlling the door. Everyone that comes into the shop has to sanitise. Everyone has to stand apart. The staff have 3 locations that they're allowed to serve in, and the customers have to abide. No more coming up to the counter, leaning across and whispering to each other. But now that we've been gone from 20 people at functions means that the family can get together.
Exactly.
I think some people had the worst Mother's Day on earth.
Look, I think this year's been a different year for all of us. We've done things differently.
Absolutely, because elderly people, nobody was allowed to visit them. They were really the dangerous set. And now that the restaurants have gone to 100, we're expecting the world is going to open up. But, of course, the world will not open up inside our borders.
Well, I think it's good that we've kept the borders, especially knowing what happened last week with Victoria. Of course, they've had a spike now, 25 people in one hit. I think we're doing well here in WA. We're
doing the best of any state.
Exactly.
And to know that you're living in the best country in the world under these conditions and the best state in the country.
I think so.
I think we are just absolutely blessed. The butcher shop is praying for the restaurants to get back in swing without any problems, because that's a hard part. 75% of our turnover is restaurants.
Look, I tend to agree. I know we're running out of time, but can you tell us again where the butcher shop is? Because at Mondo's, we know that name.
Mondo Butchers is at the corner of 6th Avenue and Beaufort Street, 824
Hours
Beaufort Street. But so that the people that are watching the couch, if they want to get smart, I'm going to do for 2 weeks a special on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Yep. I'm writing it down.
that if they write your name and the name of the show,
Fred the Couch.
okay, no, Fred Mafrica,
Making it hard
the
again.
couch, I want it because
All right.
I want people to come in and have a little piece of paper that's got your name and the couch written on it. At the moment, we've just invented a new dish.
Yep.
It's a lamb shoulder that gets cooked in a bag, okay? And you cook it, if you want it for slicing, you cook it 4 hours. If you want it for pulling lamb with 2 forks, you cook it for 6 hours. They're worth about $50 each.
No.
All of your viewers who go to the trouble to come in on a Wednesday or Thursday...
write the name down. Fred Mafrica, the couch.
The couch, if they show that bit of paper silently, they're going to save $20 off a $50 product.
What are you waiting for? Get there now. Are you open Sunday nights?
What
no,
a way to celebrate getting
back.
back to normal, and they can have people over to their house because this giant roast will feed 10 people easily.
Look, you know what? As always, you are not just the prince, you are the king of flesh today.
No, the king gets killed.
Oh, okay, forget it. The queen, the queen.
I'm not a queen either.
Oh, dude, don't just say you're the prince of flesh. Mondo's Butcher, he is a fantastic guy. Welcome back. It's nice that you've survived
Thanks for
isolation.
having me.
We will have you back, hopefully every month if you can make it.
A pleasure.
Big charity events coming up. If you want more information about Mondo's, the website is
www.mondo.net.au.
There it is on screen. Thank you very much. Don't forget that special if you want it. Wednesday and Thursdays, you need to go down to Mondo's. Give them my name on a piece of paper, Fred Mafrica, the couch, and you'll get that for $20 off.
$20 discount.
Well done. Well, thank you very much. It is always a pleasure having here. We're going to talk to Sue McDougall, another legend, very, very soon. But first, we've got some music. Centre stage. They are called the Electric Barbercats. They're also amazed to be back working again. Here they are.
Shine bright off your bald head tonight, follicle to be seen. The sea of real desolation, and you look like Mr. Sheen. Gleam, gleam, hair. Your head's reflection's really hard to stand beside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows we've tried. It's on your chin, but we can see a 9-inch part where your hair used to be. It's smooth to feel, don't need a comb. A real chrome dome. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? We don't know. You don't need a comb anymore. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? You are shedding on the floor. Oh, I don't care what you guys say. Bring the insults on. Your mom thinks I'm beautiful anyway. It's funny how the distance between your ears has grown, and the hair that once covered here can't get to there at all. You save a lot on shampoo now that your scalp has broken through. No wigs, toupees, or plugs for him. He's free. It won't grow. It won't grow. I am one with the wind and air. Why is it so? I don't know. I grew taller than my hair. Oh, have no strands. Don't need hairspray. Put the Rogaine on. My hairdo flurried through the air onto the ground. My locks disappeared and now I've got a shiny crown. And without my hair I can feel every icy blast. It's never growing back. My hair is in the past. I don't know how to grow hair anywhere except for my chin and my hair, as you know, has migrated to my ears and to my back. It's such a cruel irony that I sing barber shop, barber shop, barber shop. At least you won't worry about going gray.
Well done, boys, the Barber Cats, and we'll talk to them in the next segment, and we might even get them to stick around. You're going to stick around? Yeah, they say yes. They'll stick around for another song right after this. Please support them because they are local. They're looking for work. They've been closed down for a few months, and we need to get behind them and support the local talent as well. And they used to travel all around Australia, apparently, and they've won amazing awards internationally as well. Now, the lady that's coming up next, I don't know if she's won awards internationally because we haven't asked her yet, but Sue McDougall is an amazing lady. She's been gardening for more than 40 years, doing radio for about 26 years on 882 6PR. She's now got her own gardening program on Saturday and Sunday mornings. Welcome to the couch.
Oh, so good to be here, Fred. Thank you.
I had to get you on something that had Fred Mafrica before Sue McDougall because I actually filled in for a couple of weeks with you on 6PR. And I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was
great. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Tell me about Sue McDougall. I know that when you started, you were born and all that, but when did you get into gardening?
Well, I was lucky that I actually got into... My mum always tells a story that I was gardening by the time I could walk, because gardening on a broad scale. I grew up in the wheat belt, in the Great Southern, when it only rained occasionally. So I had a real appreciation of trees and the environment and how the rain affected and the wind affected the whole ecosystem. And from a family of when I say best memories of when I was a kid, was sitting on the back veranda with my granddad eating the apricots that were homegrown, picked from the tree that he brought back from Narrogin, because that's where my dad's and mum's family was from. And so then I just started to get into, so we were broadacre farmers, and then so I studied agriculture and then just wanted to do gardening. So I started focusing on native plants. I grew up in an area where the native plants are just so special and unique. That's how I started horticulture, and then got into my own garden, got into be able to help people with plants, and then sort of fell into everything, my work.
The
I was
TV,
lucky.
I know you did a lot of TV segments as well, gardening, and the radio thing is just amazing. You know a lot about gardening. You know your stuff. You're not someone that's just been thrown into a job and go, I can be a presenter.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's the last thing you try and be. You try and be a gardener and a presenter now. And Saturdays and Sundays, you do a 2-hour show from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. on 882 6PR. Tell us about the show. What can we expect to hear?
Well, what I'm really about is making or allowing people to have success. I don't want anyone to feel that the information's too technical, Fred. What we want is to people to have success and go, I can do that, and be inspired. And I get no greater pleasure when people say to me, I wasn't into gardening until I started listening to you. And then I grew one plant, and then I got into it, and I just discovered it at whatever age, it doesn't matter. And it's just been, when they have success, then it breeds success, and then we have fun. And then it's a life skill. I say gardening is a life skill. Being able to grow your own food, understanding nature, understanding what's happening with the seasons, really is connected to what we all do. So then it helps the environment we live in. I say if everyone could just plant 2 or 3 trees a year, imagine the difference that we could make.
Definitely.
And it doesn't have to be big trees. So just that appreciation of plants. And I often say also there's a lost generation of gardeners, Fred. So people my age missed out, didn't learn about gardening.
Really?
We went through that generation of buying food was cheaper than actually growing our own, producing our own. And there was a lot of pre-packaged things, just the start of the trends of that. I think luckily we're backwards, gone back the other way.
My cousins used to have a farm in Roleystone, and I remember as a kid, only a few years ago, we used to go there and they used to grow peaches
Yes.
Nectarines.
Love
I first found out about a nectarine, didn't realise it was a mix between a peach and something else. But they used to have mandarins, oranges, and I remember my cousins used to actually jar the peaches.
I do that.
And
yes.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of that anymore.
No, you don't. The time I do a lot of drying and dehydrating, and just passionate about having food that's in season. So that links to gardening, links to the environment, links to being able to grow everything. So that's what sort of got me on the horticulture run.
Yep.
And then I went back and studied landscape architecture, because I wanted to make a difference on a broad scale.
Wow.
And so that actually brings in lots of systems and lots of layers and a deeper understanding of gardening as well as the environment.
So you're into recycling as well.
Yes.
I know you're into
Yep.
recycling and reticulation and all that
Yes.
sort of thing. Your partner's also a gardener, am I right?
Yeah, he is.
Any
That's how we met.
family, any other kids?
No, yeah, the kids know, and they get asked a lot.
Yeah.
People will say if they can't ask me the question, they'll ask the kids. But it's actually quite amazing what they do know and what they've picked up. So, no, they're still only much younger, so they haven't decided what they want to do yet, really.
Where to from here? I know you're doing the radio program Saturdays and Sundays in the morning, 6 to 8, 6PR. Where to from here? What would you like? I know you've done TV.
There's an opportunity. Love to do TV. I really enjoy it. I like the medium. I really like the medium of radio.
Yep.
Being able to explain to people the basic information and then allowing them to have license to do it.
It works on radio, doesn't it? Because you can
love
take
it.
your time and people are really glued to you, wanting to hear what you've got to say.
Yeah, and there's so much information out there to be able to do small bits, particularly social media, videos, all that, just really good information that people can just go, oh, I can do that. And I think that's the key, is to be able to, someone can walk away from hearing or seeing something and go, oh yeah, I'm going to give that a go. That doesn't sound too hard. And I really love that.
I think it's fantastic. For those people who haven't yet caught the program, it's sort of like a Beauty and the Beast. I think we'll call you the Beauty. And Carl Langdon,
Luckily.
of course, from the former West Coast Eagles, now a sports presenter on 6PR.
Yes.
He's your co-host.
Yeah,
he
he
helps
is.
you guide the traffic and all that sort of thing. You do take calls from people at home that have got problems with their plants. You also take photos. Can we give out the website where people can actually find out more about you?
Yeah, on 6pr.com.au,
I think
Fred.
we've got it up on screen there, which is great. Now, every week it's 2 hours. We might even get you to come back and do a couple of gardening segments
Love
outside
that.
in this beautiful garden we've got here.
Oh, I love that.
Before we go, I want to know what's in season at the moment. What should we be planting at this time of the year?
Are we talking veggies? Because
Both.
at this time,
Veggies, flowers.
So there's opportunities to plant so many spring flowers. So things that attract the bees to help the pollination, we plant now. So we're talking alyssum and viola, and primulas are going to just add a huge amount of colour. Pansies are one of my favourite, Fred. They'll just keep flowering. But once we get into veggies, if you can, easy to grow are a few repeat harvest lettuce. We talk about them often. Within 3 weeks, you've got something you can harvest. Don't need very much space, just a
I
little
heard you
bit of
talking
sun.
about blueberries this morning and planting them. You can actually grow them at the moment, can we?
They grow pretty well.
Oh, wow.
So,
Especially
yeah,
at
getting them
$8 a
growing.
punnet.
I know.
Tiny little punnet.
They don't fruit at this time of the year,
No.
but you can get them to grow at this time of the year. And
Fantastic.
citrus, I mean, every house needs a citrus tree too, because they're so productive.
Oranges,
Yeah,
lemons.
Exactly,
And
they're in
lime. I've
season.
got the lime tree at home. Always
Brilliant.
produces maybe 50 limes a year. Fantastic. Do we still grow our own watermelons? Because we used to do that when we were kids.
And they need
And
a lot
beans.
of space, and with people's backyards shrinking in size, it makes it a bit tricky. But if you've got some space, wow, there's nothing nicer than a homegrown watermelon. And I really like, I think I'm the only one in the world, watermelons with seeds in them.
Oh,
They've got
I'm the
so much more flavour.
I agree with you. Look, it's been a pleasure just introducing you to our audience. I'd love you to come back and maybe do a couple of
delighted.
different segments on the show, talk about gardening. This is Sue McDougall, of course, from the gardening program on 882 6PR. I work with Sue. We all work together at 6PR, but I thought it'd be nice to show our Foxtel audience all around Australia, if they haven't already seen you. We want them to listen in next Saturday and Sunday, 6 to 8 a.m. Questions, great interview guests, and all the stuff that you miss on the show is up on the website, on the 6PR website.
Certainly is, yes.
Fantastic. Sue, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you, Fred.
A pleasure. There you go. But please follow her up, watch her watch her online, and listen to her at 6PR, because you may miss something really important. And if you love gardening, here's your expert. Well done. Thank you very much to Sue McDougall. We're going to take a break on the couch, come back right after the break. We're giving away some sunglasses, and we're also talking to the Barber Cats. Stay tuned. Well done. Thank you. Welcome back to the couch. It excites me. It will excite you as well. How would you like to win an amazing pair of sunglasses? Not any sunglasses. These are the best. They're Maui Jim Sunglasses, and we're giving you a chance to win right here on the couch. We're giving away 6 pairs. That's right, 6 pairs, 1 a week. And all you have to do to win is very, very simple. Now, we know coronavirus has been happening here in Australia, so people have done some amazing things to help other people. So all you have to do is nominate a hero, someone who has acted heroically over these last few months. Now, we want you to nominate them to win and be in the draw. I see Wonder Woman has actually come in to make sure we do it properly. Now, if you want to enter, simply SMS us to 0439 929 929. You need to nominate a person, give us their name, and write why you think they deserve a free pair of sunglasses thanks to Maui Jim Sunglasses, and go into the draw to win. We'll be giving away, like I said, 1 pair for the next 6 weeks, or 1 a week for the next 6 weeks. Now, Wonder Woman will be coming back every week to tell us how many we've got left, and she's going to make sure I do this competition very, very well. So if you want to enter, we'd love you to enter right now. And if you can't wait to win, you can always go to their website as well, which is on screen right now. It is, of course, mauijim.com, and there it is on screen. And we'd love you to enter that as well. And thank you very much to Wonder Woman. Stick around. We're going to do something else. Actually, thank you for coming in. Do I get to keep the vouchers? No, she's leaving us. She's taking them. Wonder Woman will be back next week, and we'll give away our first prize next week. So thank you very much to Maui Jim Sunglasses. Please enter now, and you can also do it through our Facebook page if you wish. Now, earlier in the show, we actually had a fantastic Electric Barbercats. They're a fantastic barbershop quartet. Now, Dan's back with us before we introduce their next song. Dan, tell us about the rest of the members in the band.
I will. This is Ian on tenor, the Milner on bass, Ash on lead, and I'm Dan. I sing baritone.
Tell us a little bit about the group for those people who haven't caught you before.
We're a barbershop quartet. We got together a few years ago, and we've been competing nationally and internationally. We've travelled around the world doing what we love to do, and we just love singing in 4-part harmony. At least 25% of us really enjoy each other's company.
Fantastic. Where can we see you perform around WA or Australia?
We've got a few things coming up later this year. So we've got a bit of an electronic challenge coming up where we're going to enter a video contest, which will be kind of fun. But as you know, the COVID-19 crisis has caught us off guard a little bit. So we're just slowly building back into gigs now. So we're available for anything that people want to get us for.
No, look, fantastic. Please support them. And if people want to support you and book you, where can they go?
Jump onto our Facebook page is the easiest way. That's the Electric Barbercats.
And of course, they've got a website as well, and they've got Instagram and Facebook as well, which is at Electric Barbercats. Thanks again for coming in. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having us on the couch today.
Here they are. Thank you very much, guys. Getting ready to perform for us a fantastic song. It's called Take a Walk. Here they are, the Barbercats.
Let's take a walk, my love, down by the river, my baby, down where we used to go before the day when we found that body. Please don't forget, my love, it was our favorite spot once. Please don't let one bloated corpse ruin all our memories. I know you slipped down a muddy embankment and landed on a rotting body, but please don't let that spoil that place for you. 'Cause don't forget we kissed there too. Oh, come on, baby, get over it. You know I love you more than that dead body, and I can't believe our relationship hangs by a thread of whether we saw a body or not. And look, I kept a memento. It's the stick we poked it with. Oh, come on. fantastic, except for one guy wrapped in plastic. Down where we used to go before the day when we found that body. Dot, dot, dot.
They are the Barber Cats. Thank you for coming in today, guys. You're doing a wonderful job. Please support them by going to their website. Book them. They need as much work as they can get, and you saw how good they are, so they won't let you down. Someone that won't let you down as well is a behavioural expert, and I'm not talking about Nisha because she never behaves. She's got a very special guest today, Amy. Thank you, Nisha. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Fred. Well, you know, we need to know the darkness to know the lightness. But a lady that talks a lot about positive psychology in workplaces here, and a good friend as well, is Amy Jacobson. Welcome to the couch.
Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Now, you focus as a behavioural expert, but also specifically with emotional intelligence.
Correct, that is, yeah.
So tell us, in terms of your title, being an emotional intelligence and behavioural expert, what does that entail?
Well, emotional intelligence is pretty much my passion. So I love the thought of the way that we can bring emotional intelligence into the workplace and really change that success moment for people. It comes in all different forms. Human behaviour just goes hand in hand
absolutely.
With emotional intelligence, and the way that they both work together. I mean, we're all people, we're all humans, so any way that we're going to react in a situation is going to be led by either our emotional intelligence or our human behaviour.
Yeah, and look, I think it's so important in workplaces. We focus on physical health, and psychological health is so important, and emotional intelligence is a bit of a buzzword, we have to admit.
Yes.
So tell us, what actually is the definition of emotional intelligence?
Sure. So emotional intelligence is all about what makes us tick first and foremost. Then we also go into what makes the people around us tick and the impact that we have on them. So there's 5 key concepts to emotional intelligence. The first one being self-awareness, and then self-regulation. We go into social skills, which is often referred to as communication. We have empathy, which is also your people skills area, and also motivation. So they're kind of the 5 key areas of emotional intelligence.
Wonderful. And those 5 areas, the first one you mentioned, are they in specific order? So is it possible to have really good social skills if we haven't got self-awareness, for example?
Yeah, self-awareness is the first step. I think really to become emotionally intelligent in any area, we need to understand ourselves. So I would say to people, you know, yes, we can have good social skills to a certain extent, but to really be able to nail them and understand the people around us, we really need to understand ourselves first and what makes ourselves tick.
Wonderful. And in workplaces, how in demand, how important is emotional intelligence?
I'm really happy to say that it is actually increasing. It is increasing. I think you mentioned the buzzword, and look, in the previous years, there has been a lot around the buzzword, and people thinking it's more about positive affirmations and wrapping people in cotton wool, which we know it really isn't. What we're starting to see now is so many workplaces truly understand that a success in a business and what differentiates you is people. And in order for you people to be engaged and high performing, they really need to understand themselves, and they need to know these key emotional intelligence skills in order to do so.
I'm smiling on the inside here because I just, when I looked at these, some of these great questions, being a behavioural expert, you're also very articulate, non-verbally and verbally, but I'm reading some of these questions and I'm thinking, Wendy from Billions. So there's a lot of conversation around performance in organisations, and of course, when we see people respond in different ways, is this because perhaps they've gone to an emotional intelligence coach, or they've really focused in on what do I contribute to the meeting I go to, or to the development of my, like talk to me really, what is it you help people with?
Yeah, so I love the show Billions as well. I think we all do. But I think you can. I think you can really tell the difference with people that are tapped in. And I think it comes down to that control. You know, we're all very much driven by our emotions. Everything that we do is based on our emotional output or our emotional driver. We do everything for an outcome. And being able to control the lead up to that, being able to control our response in our emotions in a situation, and being able to sit in front of somebody and see what's kind of going on in their mind, or how they're reacting to what we say and what we do, is really the key to be able to get that message across. And I think with communication especially, especially. It's a skill that's been around for centuries, yet it is still that one that we can't seem to nail very well. So communication is very much, from an emotional intelligence point of view, communication is actually about the recipient rather than about us. And I think people that have high emotional intelligence understand that, and they communicate in a way that they know that person needs to hear it in order to get the message across.
Absolutely. A bit of empathy mapping was always good for people, I think.
Oh, look, empathy is my favourite. I do say that about a lot of things. But
you strike me as a love person. Which
I love this. But empathy is my favourite in that I think, when we have a look at the most inspirational people in our lives, or the most inspirational people in the world that really have an impact on us, they tend to have this amazing skill, and that's empathy. It's knowing how to look at someone and know what are they actually feeling at the moment, and when did I last feel like that, and what was the best thing somebody could say to me, and what is the worst thing that somebody can say to me.
That's wonderful. Already some free strategies there for everyone. Look, given the current climate, and this is probably the final and exciting opportunity for us to talk about the importance of emotional intelligence in our environment now, is we've got, I guess, psychological capital and social capital. It's really important to grow that. But given the COVID-19 pandemic, given that a lot of people are readjusting into the workplace and perhaps a new normal, what role can EI, and specifically as a coach, what, I guess, advantage can a client get from working with you?
Yeah, so with emotional intelligence and the current COVID situation and pandemics, and I think, look, while this pandemic is obviously very new to us, there'll always be things that are unexpected.
Sure.
With emotional intelligence, it's being able to understand the process that we go through in situations like this that are unexpected. So we noticed a lot of people being thrown into that whole fear phase when COVID kicked in. This happens in the workplace all of the time. So it's important to know that working on your emotional intelligence and increasing that is then being able to understand the process that your mind goes through in situations like that, and how to move smoothly from one step into the next phase of the process, and be able to come out the other end still motivated and driven and feeling like yourself in control.
I love that, Amy. I think the level of hope that you provide everyone at home with, and obviously the level of extensive knowledge you have in this area and experience working directly with clients is so important. If anyone out there would like to know more about yourself or your business, where should they go?
Yeah, if they head to my website, my website is www. Oh, it's on the screen there. So something we prepared earlier. findingyourwhy.com.au. So please head on to my website, and you can find some videos and some information about emotional intelligence as well.
Fantastic. Well, hopefully you'll join us again on the couch. Thank you so much for your time. And if you want more information and you haven't got that website down, don't worry, because Amy Jacobson is also on LinkedIn, but also ourcouch.com.au. But for now, it's back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much, Anita. I don't know why I feel like a naughty boy sitting here. I don't know if I've got the EI, as you say. But Amy, thank you very much. We look forward to having you back on the couch very soon.
It was my pleasure.
Maybe giving us some EI, if we can have it. We're going to take a bit of a break. We're going to have a bit of comedy coming up. Simone Springer is here with Questionable straight after this. See you then. Welcome back to the couch. Time to talk comedy, and Questionable is back after the coronavirus break. Everything went online, and I'm sure you're going to find out more about that very soon with our very own Simone Springer. Over to you.
Thanks so much for having me, Fred. Welcome to Questionable on the Couch. Today's topic is the future of comedy online? And today, well, first of all, I hope not, because it's the only thing that gets me out of the house. Today, joining me, I have a comedian that we have stolen from Canada, Tor Snyder. Woo!
Yes, Tor.
Cheers, Canada. And a local comic who we are hoping to give to Canada or any other country.
Hey.
That will take him.
Easy,
Andrew
Simone.
Wolf.
That's not nice.
We won't take
There
him.
you go.
Thanks for coming, guys. So,
Thanks for having us, man.
yeah, great to be here.
It's good to be out of the house. I haven't been out for, how long's it been? 8 weeks?
Too long.
I don't know.
When are you planning on getting your first haircut?
Dude, I should have got a haircut before this. I didn't realise these cameras were so detailed. I'm not enjoying it at all. What happened to me in ISO?
That's what we're here today.
I thought
to
I was
find
eating
out.
well. I don't know what's going on.
So with all the things going on at the moment in the world, coronavirus, do you guys think, Tor, first, do you think the future of comedy is online?
Well, everything else is already online, right? Like pizza. So yeah,
All of the important things.
things are on TV. Well, yeah, everything's going to be online one day, right? Like Fred will be online one day.
I mean,
Is
he
this
already
online
is,
now?
guys.
You
You
tell
can
us.
see this on Facebook. You can see it on
You tell
YouTube.
us. You're watching
what's
online
going
right
on?
now.
It'll probably be on my Instagram. Please follow me.
I probably won't put it up. But yeah.
What about you, Andrew? Do you think the future
I
of
don't know,
comedy
man.
is
I think the
online?
internet's a bit of a fad, to be honest. I don't like it. I prefer handshaking. I think so, man. It depends if people can be good, though, because during lockdown, a lot of the Australian comics, not good. You know, cooking shows, I'm like, you're in a leotard. Where's the jokes, baby? Like, they're not, I don't know, but I do think some of the comics do a great job on there. It's funny.
Who do you like? Who are your favourite comics online at the moment?
Andrew Shields is unbelievable. He does like a Jimmy Fallon, but funny. So it's ideal. And he does some hard-hitting topics, and they can't edit him.
Yeah.
You know, I think they
Yep.
would try ban him, but you can't cancel the internet. That's what's so good about it.
Yeah, that's true.
And say whatever.
But you can cancel people that we keep finding out over and over
Yeah, a
again.
lot of people are getting cancelled.
That's
So-
the good thing about the internet too, is you can just, move on to the next thing if you don't like it.
Yeah, I do. But people don't do that. They end up feeling like they got to comment. This
Yeah.
wasn't funny. I'm like, just leave my videos alone, okay? I'm doing my best.
Do you hate watch a lot of stuff?
Yeah, man, a lot of my watching is viciously sort of mocking. Sharing it, and they go, there's a lot of shares, but it's actually comics just being vindictive. Like, have you seen what they've tried to produce? Yeah.
So, Tor, you've done a show online. How did you find it?
I did?
Yeah, for Laugh
What show
Resort.
did you do?
Oh, yeah, okay. I was like,
Oh,
I'm on.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. The Laugh Resort, we did a Zoom show. It was great. It was set up with a camera and Zoom. It was so much fun. Honestly, any opportunity to perform is an opportunity.
I
But
actually did that
don't
Zoom
you
one as
feel
well.
like maybe, perhaps, the idea of having Zoom shows, online shows, it goes out to way more countries, to way more people who can see you be a lot less funny than if they were in the same room as you.
Yeah, you're right. I might be huge in Israel.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's
yeah.
potluck. You get 100 people in, you get the whole population, global. What's 8 billion? There must be 20 people interested in what I'm doing.
There could be like this, like it could turn into like searching for the sugar man, you know?
Yeah, did you hear that story where he was famous in South Africa and he didn't know
I
about
had no
it?
idea.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, I know.
Tor's pretty big in Lebanon.
So what do you guys think about TikTok? Like, is that going to be the next lot of comedians, just people who are dancing with their families?
God, I hope not.
I love TikTok, but I feel bad being on there because it's for kids, isn't it? But it appeals to my sense of humour, and then I'm like, do you watch it, a lot of it?
I've seen quite a bit of it, yeah. And as much as I just mocked it, I totally love all of the families dancing.
Oh, mate, I love it. And the pranks are unbelievable. Anything
so
they do in
good.
a drive-through is right in my wheelhouse.
It's all about
things.
consistency. If you scare them one time, sure, it's a little bit funny. But you scare them 2,000 times in the space of 2 weeks, hilarious.
There's nothing funnier than those couples that have like 1 year of scares every day. Is that what you're talking about?
You guys need to get some better things to watch.
It's because we both have kids.
Yeah, man, we're on there, but yeah.
Woo! No kids!
So do you guys think that,
Yeah.
are you guys planning on going viral? I feel like, Andrew, you're more likely to be that for all the wrong reasons.
I'll go viral like Kramer did probably, so it won't be the right thing. No,
Try now. Why not?
I could do it right now. Wait a second.
So-
Maybe not.
Guys, do you guys think, to sum up, is the future of comedy online or?
The future of comedy is wherever I'm at, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, if anything, I need more Andrew Wolf on TV.
No, I think it definitely is the future. I think you've got to be genuinely funny there. You don't get to filter it with an audience. You deliver it.
You don't get to test that material.
Yeah, you don't
put
test
it up
it.
the video
A lot of
once.
people in stand-up rooms, like, they rote learn it like a parrot. You see them over and over. You can tell it in the green room. It's quiet. They're not that funny.
Yeah, I didn't need to be here, really. You could have just done it with Andrew. Because, yeah.
They're trying to wind us up now.
Yeah, bravo.
But I had a big statement that I wanted to release.
What about you, Tor? Is the future of comedy online?
Sure, why not?
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Just because you put something on the internet doesn't mean it's going to be funny.
It's actually shameful when you go online and don't get any likes because, like, of the population.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
because
mean?
it could go out to
I
everybody.
put up a video of my stand-up 2 years ago, and 2 days later I had to take it down because even my parents hadn't looked at it.
Oh my God. On that note, thank you so much for joining me, Andrew Wolfe, and to Tor Snyder. Back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much, Simone. I actually agree with you, Simone. I think comedy, being a viewer of comedy, I didn't enjoy it online. I think unless you have an audience laughing, it doesn't
feel
work.
the
So
same.
isolation comedy, forget it. Never do it again.
I feel like you've seen my ISO
No,
comedy.
look, I just don't think it works. But I think you can have it online as long as you've got an audience. If it's like recording a TV show, as long as you've got an audience, comedy works with an audience. Without it, it doesn't seem to work. But I think
the energy.
I don't
Heard it here
know.
on the couch.
You're right, man.
I don't know.
People in their own house, like Unibomber with no audience.
Yep. I think that's the case. But thank you very much to our questionable team. They'll be back again next month. And that is it for this segment today. We'll be back after this break. Quick break. We're heading to the kitchen with Nisha and Daniele, and they've got an awesome cake to try. See you then.
Connect with The Couch online through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Welcome back to The Couch. Hope you're enjoying today's program. Now we're going to take you to the kitchen. Nisha's got a very special guest. It is, of course, Daniele Fottecazzola. He's got my favourite cake today. He's making that for us. And he's talking opera as well. Over to you, Nisha.
Thank you so much, Fred, and it's a warm pleasure that we get another fresh and local segment with the Daniele. Welcome.
Grazie for having me. It's good to be back. It's been a while, so...
It has been a while, and today we are making a very colourful dish.
Yes, we're making a opera cake today. So it's a type of opera cake. It's a Donizetti cake, which is named after one of the most famous Italian composers, Gaetano Donizetti. And yeah, because I've been working on Cooking with Opera, which is a series with West Australian Opera and City of Perth, where we're obviously we can't perform in the theatre at the moment, so it's about bringing you know, the culture of opera and beyond the theatre, and how opera's inspired the world beyond just the theatre and entertainment, but in food.
Wonderful, and it's really colourful and fitting as we get started that we look at the new beautiful Dolce & Gabbana sushi, which I'm absolutely in love with.
I love cooking. I'm not much of a baker, but this has definitely renewed the interest. So yeah.
As we get started, let's talk about the cake, because it is from a very important region, given what we've just been through,
another reason why I thought about this cake. So this cake isn't part of the series, but as another opera dish, it's actually, it's from Bergamo, which is the region in Italy that was the epicenter of the coronavirus.
Yes.
So I thought something that's a tribute to that city, but also something a little bit sweet and uplifting, and their heritage, and a celebration of their biggest export is obviously Gaetano Donizetti, the composer who's from Bergamo.
Wonderful, great. So a lot of culture, a lot of legacy in our dish. So what can we do to get started? And I will lean on you to give me tasks as well.
So what I've done is I've already started mixing. This dish is like opera. It's very decadent, very luxurious. So there's a lot of eggs first of all. So we've got about 8 eggs in here separated. 8 egg yolks. And Nisha, you're going to mix 4 egg whites with some sugar.
Wonderful.
And so I've mixed these egg yolks with some butter already. So I've done butter and some sugar and egg yolks, and you're
ready
adding
to make some noise.
That's it. There we go. And just so we get some nice soft peaks with that one.
Okay.
And then in the meantime, so this one's coming together, so I'll wait till those are ready.
Yeah.
And then what we're going to add is so I've got some flour and potato starch, but you keep mixing away because it's going to take a while. And then we're going to add some candied pineapple, some candied apricot, a little bit of vanilla. And traditionally the recipe uses maraschino cherries, which is like a little bit of a sweeter cherry, but I've decided amarena, something a little bit evens out the flavour. It's not so sickly sweet, and maybe a little bit bitter like myself, rather than the romantic that is Donizetti. And so the legend for this cake was that it was actually Rossini, another composer. He loved food and cooking, and so what happened was he had Donizetti over for dinner, and Donizetti was going through a breakup, and Rossini loved like creating dishes and was very passionate about food, so he was kind of upset that this dinner had been spoiled. And so he called his chef that night, and he said, you know, let's create something that's going to cheer up our friend. And so Rossini's chef was like in a panic because he didn't really have anything new, and apparently he found some candied apricot and pineapple, and he popped that together with the vanilla and the maraschino, and it lifted Donizetti's mood. And so the legend in Bergamo, they always say, is if you're suffering from a broken heart, it's best to have a slice of Donizetti cake, which will, have your heart singing and soaring again. So there's a nice little story there for all the romantics. How those?
I think I'm looking good. What would you say?
Yeah, I think we're pretty much there. Maybe just like a few more seconds.
Few more seconds. Ooh.
And then.
It's very good for physical activity.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's a love story. It's really a love story.
Yeah, it's a
heartbreak to love.
Yeah, that's it. You've got to go through the pressure builds diamonds. You've got to go through some heartbreak, kiss a few frogs or whatever to find, who you're looking for. So yeah, definitely. And that's probably with the flavours of the cake in itself.
So you're telling me to, Daniele, that to impress somebody, that if I cook them a really nice cake, that it would be helpful?
Well, that's it. They say that the key to the heart is the stomach, and
Wonderful. Thank you. I've learnt something really important.
There you go. We all need food. We all need to eat. And what's more comforting than cake?
Beautiful.
Okay, those eggs whites seem to be ready.
Wonderful. Thank you.
So what we'll do is lift this up, and if we want to gently fold this in.
Wonderful. And technique's a huge part of cooking as well.
Yeah, well, baking. So I'm definitely much more of a cook, I would say, than a baker. So this definitely tested me a little bit. So if you want to pop those in.
Pour straight in.
Those egg whites. Excellent. Cool. So we don't have to be so, normally with egg whites you have to be really gentle and fold it, but...
You want me to mix it all?
Yeah, just mix it in. A little bit of a fold.
My technique of cooking is growing. Fred gives me classes every now and then.
That's looking great.
Wonderful.
And then I'll do...
Oops. There we go.
Beautiful.
Is it imperative to have a device like this, a cooking machine, to be able to...
To bake, yeah, well, doing the egg whites by hand would definitely take a while. It'd be great for a workout, I guess, but yeah, definitely would. Some things are nice by hand, like making pasta, but I think certain things like baking, unless you've got a real knack for it, a machine is always good.
Beautiful. And Daniele, you mentioned the opera earlier, and I know that you're doing a little bit with the opera, and you've had to get very innovative at this time.
Yes,
so tell us a bit more
at the
about
moment,
that.
as I mentioned, we obviously haven't been able to perform at West Australian Opera, so we've Wayo's launched a Ghostlight Opera series, which is kind of like different digital initiatives that we can do to continue talking and singing and learning about opera, listening to opera. Okay. So among the initiatives were virtual singing classes, Ghostlight Opera series, and now they've launched this Cooking with Opera series, which I've been presenting. So basically, it's about the artistry of opera with the culinary artistry of some of Perth's best restaurants.
Love that diversity. So tell us a bit about some of the dishes that you've cooked with
so opera. Surprisingly, like doing this research, I found that so many dishes have been named after operas, composers, opera singers, even our own Dame Nellie Melba, who's on the $100 note.
Yes.
She has multiple dishes named after her, the Melba toast, the peach Melba. So going through this research and and we found that there were a lot of dishes, and so we spoke to the restaurants and eateries, and it's kind of about encouraging people not only to keep talking about opera, but to also go and engage with these businesses.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's really good. So now that we're getting to the stage where we've got a lot of the flour in as well.
Yeah.
From here, because you have pre-prepared one, and I know we've got a minute or so.
Yes.
How long do you need to prepare this dish, and how long does this part normally take for those of us who are going to try it at home?
Well, so pretty much this is almost done. What we would just add now is just the pineapple and the apricots, a spoonful of the Amarena cherry liquid, and a spoonful of vanilla essence.
Wonderful.
And you just mix that all together. Grease a baking dish.
Yes.
Traditionally the cake is always done like a donut shape, so a cake like a bundt dish with a hole in the centre. That's the shape of the traditional Donizetti cake.
Lovely.
And that takes about 40 minutes in the oven, and then what we'll do is just to finish it off is to make it a real showstopper. There's a little bit of icing sugar.
Oh, lovely. And I know just looking at that makes my heart warm. So the story you told us earlier, thank you for sharing it.
No,
with
thank
us.
you for having me.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
What's next for you? What's the next big thing?
Well, at the moment, so we're only into week 3 of Cooking with Opera. So every Sunday there'll be a brand new video, Cooking with Opera video, that's released on West Australian Opera's and City of Perth's Facebook pages. So basically make sure to stream them, and then from the next day onwards you can go out to that venue, enjoy that dish, and we've been working on playlists and a few more cooking workshops and things like that.
Well, I love the diversity, as always, in everything that you do. And how can people follow you as well? Because you're always doing lots of interesting things on Instagram.
So on Instagram, it's my full name, so Daniele _Foodie Cuzzola. a little bit hard to spell, but we'll figure that out. And on Facebook, Dime with Daniele by Daniele Furiguzzola. And then website is just my name.com.
Wonderful. Thank you for
No,
joining us.
grazie.
I'll get you
Grazie
to
for
hold
having
this
me.
cake up
Yes.
as a sort of outro, and I know we'll
So
all
there
be
we go.
trying that.
Yeah.
It's absolutely beautiful. The Donizetti.
Donizetti cake
Lovely.
from Bergamo.
We'll see you very soon, and
Yes.
good luck with the rest of the opera
Yeah,
series.
grazie. Thanks for having me.
And if you've missed any of that, you can go to thecouch.com.au. I'm just so excited about trying this cake, but for now it's back to you, Fred.
Thank you, Nisha and Daniele. Almost missed out on the cake, but I've got my own secret agent to bring me some over later on. But thank you very much. Please support Daniele. Oh, thank you, Bridget. That's so nice of you to to get a piece of cake for me. That's lovely. One that Nisha won't get her hands on either. Spin It to Win It is back. We need you to enter the competition. Otherwise, we're just going to give away the prizes. Next week, we've got our first winner. We're going to give them away to charity. But if you would like to be part of this $500 package you see on screen, there's lots of different games. Thanks to Goliath Games, we're giving one lucky person the chance of spinning the wheel in the next few weeks, and you could win $500 worth of games, or one individual game worth about $50 to $100, and sometimes a little bit more. Thanks to Goliath, all you have to do is SMS us to 0439 929 929, the usual SMS with your name and address, and the code word needs to be games. There you go, games. Very, very easy to enter. We'd love you to enter. Please do that now, and you could be part of the fantastic winning feeling thanks to Goliath Games. And I think they're great games as well. So thank you for watching the show today. I hope you enjoy the program. We certainly had a lot of fun putting it together for you. Next week, another big show with lots of our local talent. Please don't forget, check out our website, thecouch.com.au. You'll see the show there. And if you missed it, you can always watch it again and again and again. And please, if you want to be a guest or a contestant or anything at all on the show, performer, write to us. Fred@thecouch.com.au. You can send me a message through our Facebook page, or you can write to us directly. It's been amazing today. I've enjoyed the cake. I'm actually going to try a little bit. I think I'm allowed to try it now. And I'll tell you what it's like, Daniele. Beautiful. Don't eat any more, Nisha. See you next week. Enjoy your week and stay healthy. Bye-bye.
On the couch with us.